Thank you for listening to the Golden Hour Drip podcast with me, Logan Lee Miller. Enjoy the show. My Stanley is running out of ice. It's honestly so sad. Before I start every episode, I'll take a sip of water because I know it's about to be an hour or so before I can get another drink of water because I absolutely despise stopping and starting. I feel like it's not a natural flow. It's not good for the podcast. So I'm like, okay, take a drink. But I watched a video today of a girl, her handles fell off of her Stanley cup. And she was like, and this is my house Stanley. This isn't my going places Stanley. So the fact that the handles fell off is annoying. I'm petrified. I'm so hard on my Stanley. I'm always battering her around. I put so much trust in the handle. They're literally bolted on though. If you look at a Stanley cup, they're bolted. So I'm a little scared, honestly. I wish I didn't see that video because now I'm acting so gingerly around the Stanley. I do think, here's the thing, my attention span when I'm on TikTok, it's usually because I'm avoiding something else. And I go so fast. If the story is taking too long, I don't care. I'm scrolling on, getting through it. So she mentioned something about a lifetime warranty. I don't know if they actually do or not and what justifies a lifetime warranty because I have a Dyson vacuum. It's one of those small ones, cordless. I love it with all my heart. When we bought it, they're like, yeah, do you want the warranty? It's 5 years. I was like, sure. But what qualifies a warranty? I am the exact opposite of a Karen. A Karen would go someplace and they're like, I have a warranty. I need this. Let me talk to your manager. I'm the opposite. I'm I have the warranty, but do I even use it? That's so stressful to me sometimes. It's oh my gosh, I have this, I don't want them to feel bad, and it's not a big deal if it's not. Maybe that is the people-pleasing tendencies that I have, but I'm always I have warranty, but what the hell does that actually mean? And in this day and age, customer service can go one or two ways. They can be really nice, or they literally hate their job and hate you, and they don't care about anything, and they will literally not give you any good customer service. So I'm always nervous that I'm gonna get someone like that because then I'm oh my gosh, it's nerve-wracking. Oh my gosh, this is why I love things being delivered to me. I love getting mail. My office directly looks at our mailbox, so I know when my packages come. I know when my mail is received. I am here to get it and to open it. Always, always, always. Which brings me to my peak and my pit of the week. Let's get into it. So my pit of the week is TikTok Shop is literally taking so long to ship. I don't know if I've just been conditioned for the service of Amazon where it is so quick, it is so fast, but it has me scared for the holidays for sure. There is no reason besides I guess the increase. More people are buying packages, but this is not 2020. Things should be back to normal in some aspects. And so I'm what's the excuse? Why is it not here? Because there's no employees, maybe. And I have zero, I wouldn't say zero. I have a lot of patience. And I'm not yelling at anybody about it. Like I said, opposite of Karen, I'm not here to raise stink. I'm not here to, make anybody feel bad about their job. So I just stew inside, and I guess now I'm complaining to you. But I ordered something from TikTok Shop September 22nd. It is October 9th. Okay? I don't have it. It's not here. And it makes me really, really sad because other things haven't came quickly. I got an air stick. It's pretty small, pretty compact. But I ordered, and this is my fault. Maybe I shouldn't be ordering fake things from the internet. But I bought on 2 different days. I think because I wasn't sure about the sizing. I bought a pair of the UGG dupes. They're so cute, okay? They're the platform ones. I have a problem with cleanliness. I'm a little teeny tiny bit of a germaphobe. Things gross me out. And the thought of putting my feet in slippers with no socks on and then like sweating in them, it is very hard for me to rationalize spending so much money when I know that like with my feet, I'm gonna get grossed out. Even though like my feet can be perfectly clean, I could have just washed them, have a fresh pedicure and put them in every single day, like do a little prep before putting my feet in this like nice slipper. I will still get a little grossed out. Like with them being so expensive and then wearing it, and this is where waste comes into play. So I really try not to be like this, but the padding on the inside starts to get like broken down. I know this because I have never had a real pair of Uggs, but in high school, I had a bear paws, okay? And those were cool, those were fresh. The like off-brand Uggs. Nowadays, we don't really have off-brand, we just have dupes. It's like literally the same thing. It could be same manufacturer, all the things. But they don't have like that name brand. Well, when I was in high school, it was not the exact same, and so it was more like a dupe. Not a dupe, a knockoff. That's what it's called. It was like similar but not the same, off-brand. And the bear paws, I remember being so grossed out. And I also remember girls wearing the Uggs and being absolutely just like heinous, disgusting, smelly Uggs, okay? I'm not down for that. I don't like that. So it's really hard for me to think, oh, I'm gonna buy a pair of expensive Uggs that are close to $200, and then I'm gonna wear them for a season and have to change them for the next season. Okay, I'm not down with the bowling shoe vibe. Okay, that's gross. I bought the knockoffs. Okay, we'll see how I like them if they would ever get here. I've been waiting, like I said, for multiple days, I guess we could say weeks now. Am I being crazy? Yes, like in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal at all. Like things take time, but I feel like it should already be here. My Amazon packages come within a day. I'm a little stressed. Also, it has taken like a week. I talked about last Monday's episode, if you listen, I talked about slimes. Okay, whatever. If you want to know more about that, listen to the other episode. But that took a full week, like 9 days for the slime to get here. And I'm feeling that with this like a dupe. I'm like, oh my gosh, when are they gonna be here? Because that is all the fall vibes. Like I am in love with fall. I'm so excited for fall. That's why today's episode is the hot girl fall themed. Okay, that's the title of the episode. I'm ready. I want to be wearing these cute dupe Uggs around the house. I already bought ribbon for the shoes to tie on the back. I've seen this trend with the ribbons. And I know that like it was going to be a thing but it's taken longer to catch on than I think the original creator or the forecaster really thought, because I saw this video like last year. We were going to be wearing ribbons in our hair. It was going to be this like big thing. I've seen a little bit of ribbon in hair, but I haven't seen like a lot of ribbon in hair. But ballerina core is very in. I've always loved ballerina core. I wish I was a ballerina. I honestly complained to my mother 2 nights ago. I was driving home from my way from bar, because you know it's October. I'm trying to do the what the heck is it called? I always want to say Pilates, but it's right next to the Pilates place that I used to go to. It's a yoga studio. Oh, what the heck? This is horrible. I just started going there, but I can never think. Power Life. I had to go look on my phone for the app. If you're watching on YouTube, you would see that. Sorry for the pause, but Power Life. So I was on my way home from bar, and it was like this super amazing class. I'm always like so sweaty though. I'm like flopping all over the mat. There's a pool of liquid from my sweat because the room is 87 degrees, which is, in like hindsight, it's not that hot, but when you're doing like a workout, it is so hot. I was like coming home, it's like, Why did you guys not put me in these classes when I was younger? Like, I wish that I would have like experiences as a child, that I would just have muscle memory, but I don't have muscle memory, and I'm trying to learn this as a hobby. I know bar and ballet are totally different. I get that, okay? But here I am like trying to do it and I'm struggling so hard. I'm like, someone should have put me in ballet. Someone should have put me in these things. I love ballerina core. I remember in 5th grade, she had my teacher at the time. She was a terrible teacher, honestly. So annoying, so cliquey, despised her. All of the girls in my class loved her. I despised her. She had encyclopedias, and I would take home her encyclopedias and read them because it would have like a little section about like whatever word it was. And I remember taking home B and like looking at ballerina stuff, and it was like, usually people start when they're 3, but you can start all the way up to like whatever age. It really, like, you can start at any time. And I remember I think I was 11, and I remember thinking, oh my gosh, like I'm at the cutoff, like that was in the book or whatever. And I tried to ask my mom, but like it was not like in the Midwest, we didn't have that. Like it wasn't as good. Like we had a weird dance class or whatever, but I never did that. So that's a sidetrack. I love all the bows. I love the ballerina core, and putting like bows on like little Ugg dupes. I just think that is entirely adorable. I love wearing leggings every day. Today I have jeans on, but I like the legging look. I like the big chunky shoe look with like leggings. I think that is adorable. I like the sweaters. I like the turtlenecks. Today I'm wearing a little turtleneck. It's very cute. I'm ready for my Ugg dupes to come in. Okay, I need them at my door. The TikTok shop says arriving soon. That was October 2nd. They were supposed to be arriving soon. They have not arrived. I'm very sad. Okay, the mailing system, very sad. Okay, we need to bump it up. I don't know what it would take, but we need whatever. I'm complaining. That's my pet of the week. Okay, and I know that seems a little shallow, and that's okay. The peak and the pit, they're just for me, okay, and for you obviously, but I hope that helps you rationalize the things that are going on in your life. Like, it can be a little nuisance, and if that's the worst that happens, we're doing okay. That's what my grandpa always used to say. But sometimes it's nice to complain about nothing at all. Made up stress, I know, but it's kind of fun, right? Like, it's kind of fun. So let's get to the peak of my week. I have been loving TV shows. I've been loving series and shows. I've been trying really hard. Just because it is fall does not mean it is rotting on the couch season. We are going to be productive. We're still working on our goals. I've really been loving TV shows. And the word TV shows, I know it's like 2 words, but TV shows makes me think of like coming home after school and watching like something on TV. We always had Rachel Ray or the Ellen Show or Judge Judy or the Reba, that show. And so TV shows literally, like, it doesn't quite do it for me, but the aspect of like, okay, it's a show, like I had a Netflix series, a Hulu series, I don't know what you would call them, because I don't have like, cable. I just have my streaming services, but I don't know what happened. I thought I was avoiding like all these series, and I was hoping that the episodes were just stacking up and I would have stuff to binge. Somehow, this past week, I've gotten started on like the first episode of the series, and I am in this like perpetual loop of waiting for the next episode to come out. That is the worst feeling ever. Like, on one hand, it's really good because I have something to look forward to and it's really fun. Like, when's the next episode gonna come out? But on the other hand, my zero patience says, I want to binge this, I want to watch it, I want to watch it again. And like one of them, so I've been watching Georgia and Jenny and Georgia. I did not watch that when it first came out, but now like I've started watching it. I think there's two seasons. I'm on the first season, about halfway through. I kind of like it. Some parts are a little weird. I don't know, I'm kind of vibing with it though. It's kind of cool, kind of like it. So Georgia and Jenny, it's like something that I can't look away from. It's very like intriguing. Kardashians, I kind of like the Kardashians. I watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians sporadically as a child, but my mom really didn't let me watch it. We watched reality TV, but it was mostly like Housewives or the OC, like more structured things. I don't know, she like sometimes she would watch the Keeping Up with the Kardashians like by herself. And then I would like pop in and I'd be like, oh, like I get to watch some of this, whatever. But I love Kardashians. And I also like that it's like a new season in their life, like a new, like there was a hard cut from Keeping Up with the Kardashians because it was so overwhelming that I would have to start the series from the very beginning. And that's kind of like what pushed me away from it because I was like, oh my gosh, like to start the series from the beginning, like on one hand, it's very nostalgic, but on the other hand, that's a lot of content. I don't have that much time. And also, like, it's cringy. And I've been cringed out a lot lately. Like, Georgia and Jenny, like, there's some things that, like, cringe me out. So much, like, I'm just, stop. Like, that's so gross. I don't know. Maybe I just, like, have the, like, I wouldn't say personality, like the humor of a 14-year-old boy, but like some of the things just ick me out and are so awkward and cringy and like, that is not, like, ew. I don't know, like even thinking about it grosses me out. So I like have just those series and that time, that era, those clothes. Maybe when I'm older, like I'll care more, but Kardashians is like, it's an easy in, okay? I watched the first like couple, I think there's 2 or 3 seasons that I watched earlier this spring and summer when I was first like walking on my treadmill and doing all the things. And it's like, I like it because it wasn't that hard of a buy-in. Like I didn't have to catch up too much. That was so nice. Like, it's like, okay, like this is good. The next things, I avoided watching The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, okay? I did not watch them. I don't care to watch them. I almost watched Charity's season because she is a sorority alumna of the sorority that I'm in. I was like, oh my gosh, that would be so cool to do it. I didn't have the time though. I did not have the time, and by the time I decided maybe I would watch it, it was like halfway through. And then I think The Bachelor was before The Bachelorette, if I'm thinking right. Yes. The Bachelor, I was not interested in. I thought it was so awkward how he like left Rachel, like when she was the Bachelor, one of the Bachelorettes. I did not like him at all. Then he was named The Bachelor. I was like, you know what, like I can't. The drama was just too much, and the fights was kind of giving me like some sort of anxiety. Like I did not like the conflict at all, and maybe it's because in that time period of this like season, I was like stressed and I couldn't do any more stress, okay? And so I was like, you know what, it's got to go. I'm done with The Bachelor, I'm done with The Bachelorette, which is crazy because I loved The Bachelorette. I loved The Bachelor. Like we would, speaking of sorority, we would have like watch nights. I would watch it every Monday or Tuesday or whenever it came out, depending on the season. When Garrett and I first started dating, we would watch it together. We would get Chinese. I would drink wine, and like it was a blast. I had so much fun, and so it made me really sad when I had to like, you know, nix it. But I decided, I saw that Bachelor in Paradise was up, and I love Bachelor in Paradise. It's not as conflicty, like there obviously is some like love triangles, there's some things, but it's multiple love stories happening in a row. I like that. Because if you don't like the main guy or the main girl of The Bachelor or Bachelorette, it's very hard to watch it because you're like, oh, like, what do they even see in them? Nothing. He's trash, or, you know, she's catty. So it's easier to watch The Bachelor in Paradise because it's like, oh, like multiple love stories. I like it. So I watched that, and I didn't realize that it was the first episode. I was like, when does this next episode come out? So that has been like of like Bachelor in Paradise. I'm really sad. There's actually like 2 people on there that I don't really like. So I'm a little upset. The boy who won Katie's season, I'm sorry for any of you guys who don't like The Bachelor. I'm sorry I'm talking about it. It'll be quick. The man who proposed to Katie at the end of her Bachelorette season is on it. I don't see what girls see in him. He is so annoying, and like one of the clips was like, oh, like look at his legs. I was like literally vomiting. That's so gross. Anyways, and then the Golden Bachelor, which if you have not listened to my last Friday episode, I talked about the Golden Bachelor in there, so I'll save it for that. But yeah, I've been loving the like little shows. It has been really helpful for like house cleaning, and this like past week I was like catching up and trying to like get my house back into order because the previous weekend was so like time consuming. My energy levels were also like extremely low because I was on my period, whatever. So watching the shows like while I was cleaning the house or folding laundry, I honestly had so much laundry to get through. It was nice. Oh my gosh, like it was all the vibes. It was so much fun. But I am also to the stage, and I'm so glad today actually my Audible renewed, and it's like you have access to another book, and it's like hell yeah, because I have binged all of the shows or whatever, like doing stuff. I cannot like sit in front of something like TV, YouTube video, whatever I'm watching. I can't sit and watch it and just watch it. That's why like when I put my phone away at 6 or 7, depending on when I'm gonna go to bed, because I do the 2 hours before and the 2 hours before bed. I will, if I'm watching TV and just watching TV, that's okay. But I can't be watching TV and on my computer and like trying to finish something up. Like if I'm watching a movie, I have to be focused on the movie. So I don't limit that screen time, because actually having like my attention, like pay attention to one thing, is actually pretty good. So I like binged all of these TV shows while like work and do things in the house, which is fun and dandy. But then I was like, oh, like what do I consume now? And I love Audible. I do like podcasts as well, and I do have like my favorite podcasters, but not like every single week is not going to be a banger. I understand that. Like every single episode I produce, you're not going to love. I get that. The content creators that I follow, I'm not going to love every single thing that they post, right? So you take that into consideration. There's going to be some weeks I can't watch. And then you take in consideration, okay, like they drop 1 episode a week. Like I listened to mine this week. So I really love Audible and reading the books. And they like made a little change. And maybe it's always been like this, but I just noticed that you can buy it with 1 credit, or you can buy it with like an amount of, it'll say like X amount of money. And that honestly like makes me so happy, because for the past, like I've had Audible probably since, it's been 3 full years like of having Audible. I love it. I will get so annoyed that like my credit is up and it would be like, does not support purchases in app or something like that, and I could never figure out how to get the 2 connected. And today it was like, purchase the X whatever for so many dollars. That like reduces the stress, because I'm always like, what if I purchase this book and I don't like it? Like I waste my credit. I last month listened to the You Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, and at first I was a little thrown off because they did it as like a reading the books, that did not make sense. They read the book, and then on top of reading the book, they talked about the chapters after. So it's kind of like a podcast, and it was also a book reading. It was like, it kind of threw me off. I was like, I don't know if I like this. I should have maybe just read the book instead of trying to listen to it, but I ended up like getting into it. But that was so stressful, because I'm like, what if I don't want to continue with it? What if like I want to listen to something else, and I couldn't. But this month, it's like, oh, you can purchase things? I'm like, like, I vibe with that. I really like that. So it makes me more excited for this month that I can purchase. Again, I'm still purchasing a book, but listening to a book, especially if it's the author who wrote it, has been really, really good, especially if it's something that I know is going to be hard for me to get into. There are some books that I know will be really, really good for me, but they're a little dry. There are some books by Robert Greene, I believe, like Mastery, The Power of, oh, what the heck? There's like several of the books. I bought the books, and I remember trying to get through and read the books, and there were so many names that I could not pronounce that I was like, I don't know if I can continue to read this because I feel like I'm not absorbing the knowledge. But when it's being read to you, it's more like a story tale, like your mom or your dad reading you a book before bed. And so I really like that. And I'll go back and forth, honestly, but it makes me really happy because Atomic Habits, like, I would love to reread that book, but sometimes when you read a book, you can't like reread it without like trying to skim over the parts, like, oh, I've heard this before. But when it's being read to you, it's a different voice, right? Like, we all have the voice in our head, and how they speak and what they pronounce, but when it's being read by someone else, it's like, oh, a different perspective. I really, really like that. So fall, it has arrived, honestly. I could not be more happy to see her. Summer was awesome. I love it. Actually, I was standing on our back porch and I was thinking, holy smokes, like a whole year has passed. Garrett and I will have our 3rd anniversary tomorrow. We will be married for 3 years. I cannot believe it. But I was just thinking about us last year and how this year seemed like a blink, like a literal blink. I was like, oh, like we went through a whole year. That's insane. And I was just thinking about like my mental health last year. I was thinking about the things that were important to me this time last year, thinking about my expectations for the upcoming year and our marriage. I always like the last quarter of the year to be like a planning period for the upcoming year. Even though you can get a lot done in a short amount of time, I always think, oh, like, it's fun to think about. It's fun to, you know, envision for the future. And a lot of things came true, but also a lot of things were totally like different. Like, I did not see it coming. And I really do like that part of life and marriage. Like, it can be really, really good and steady in those ways, you know, like very consistent. I like that. But then there are things that come out of like total left field. I'm like, what the heck? Like, I didn't even see this coming. This is so good. This is so great. And then I think back even like a few falls previously, because my back porch is so important to me, being outside is so important to me. I was thinking back to when I spent time outside because I was trying to like connect with nature and like remove myself from a work environment, and I just was like so entirely grateful. And I feel the same way that I felt in high school, which there's a caveat to that. When I say like I feel how I felt in high school, I mean like the transition from high school to college was very hard on me, and the transition right out of college into like the workforce was also very hard for me. So I never really felt normal throughout these years, and with the last 3 years being post-grad, I have found so much like clarity, and I've also really found routines that work so well for me, and it's giving me like the same, I don't know how to describe it, but like worry-free. Like, I don't have any anxiety. Like, I used to think about anxiety all the time, like, and think about the things that I was like stressing about, and I haven't done that, and I'm just like so utterly grateful, and it makes me feel like I can enjoy life a little bit more, and it's because I had all the stress previously. Hey, I hope that you're enjoying today's podcast episode. Just a quick interruption to let you know that Golden Hour Drip has a weekly newsletter that comes out. This has bonus content, weekly updates, and future event information. If you haven't already, go down to the show notes, click the link, and join today. Now, back to the show. I'm able to come from a place of understanding that like this happiness is not guaranteed. Emotions in general don't last, and that can be a good thing and also a bad thing. But when I'm super down in the dumps or I'm feeling like some sort of way, I always think, you know what, like this won't last forever because we went through like some real bad crap, and I'm like, but we made it through. Like we are where we are now, and if we didn't experience those things that weren't really like, they didn't feel good at all, like they were horrible, now I get to experience like the better stuff, and I'm more grateful for it, I'm more present for it, and I'm like, hell yeah, like this is my fault, this is my year. Like I have felt, and maybe it's because my brain is fully developed, like I just feel so clear and so good. So if you are struggling with anything right now, if you are not having the time of your life and you think life literally sucks, it will get better. You will not feel this way forever. I promise you. Like I promise you. I used to think, you know what, like in a couple of years, like things will be fine. And I'm like, things are fine. Things are good. You're gonna thrive, I promise you. And it's okay if you're feeling this way. You can still have a hot girl fall. These are all things that are, you know, you can do when you have low energy. And these are some things that you can do when you are feeling good and you are having those good days. Because when you're having those good days, you feel on top of the world. It's so good. So the first thing that is on my hot girl agenda for fall is, listen, this one is basic, okay? You're gonna be like, I know, Logan, okay? Drink your water and go for a walk. And here's the thing. On the days that I'm not feeling fearless, I'm not feeling confident, whatever that TikTok sound is, on the days that I'm not feeling like 100%, as much as I dread it, as much as I do not want to do it, going for a walk is so good for your brain. Like if you can be outside when you go on a walk, like that's top notch. But even if you are walking inside, like I have a little walking pad, I'm very grateful that I'm able to work from home. And so I do have like a routine of walking 9 to 10. I know not everybody can do that, but when I was in a regular 9 to 5 where I was going into an office, during my lunch break, I would go for a walk. I would go for a walk on my lunch break. I would try to get outside. I would try to connect with nature. You know, it makes you feel good. And it also is a change of pace. You're getting your endorphins, you're walking, like it's so good for you, and it's so easy, okay? Like it is not a strenuous workout. You're not gonna be out of breath. It can be 5-10 minutes. It's the smallest portion of your day, but on the days that I don't go for a walk, on the days that I am not being active, those are the days where I either feel like a slug and I have brain fog, or I have pent up energy when I go to bed and I'm like, I literally cannot sleep because I didn't go for a walk. So it's so good. Like if you're ever feeling down and out, go for a brisk walk, do something really quick, get your heart rate up. Sometimes I will do like these really ugly burpees where I like jump up in the air and then I go down, and instead of doing a push-up, I will do like, this is so ugly, I will do like a hip thrust where I like go down and like my entire like pelvic area like hits the ground, and then I do like this weird cat-cow and then I'll pop right up. But you know what? My heart rate gets going, and that's all that matters. The next like caveat, the thing that goes hand in hand with going for a walk is drinking your water. I will tell you this, fall is dry, okay? Literally look all around you. The leaves are crisping up, okay? It might be hotter, it might be colder, but the entire temperature like changes, okay? Especially where I'm at. Maybe it's not from where you're at, but in Missouri, okay, it gets dry. And I have noticed that my water intake has gone up and I'm drinking more water. But you know what is not going up? The amount of times I go to the restroom, okay? This summer I was like drinking water and I was like headed straight to the restroom. And maybe it's because I've been doing Himalayan salt, but even so, like I've been doing Himalayan salt for the past like 3 months, and that, I can tell things are drying up around here. My skin, I want her to be buoyant. I want her to be youthful. So in order to keep her from aging too quickly, prematurely, you drink water, okay? I've been downing the water. My hair always feels dry. So like she needs a drink, my body needs a drink. Drink your water. It's so good for you, okay? Anti-aging. And I heard this the other day. It was like diet culture for our parents is what anti-aging is for us. I'm like, like that's horrible. Like, but I am obsessed with it. Like I'm obsessed with the preservation and the longevity of my life. I don't think that's a bad thing, okay? Like I don't. So I'm drinking my water. It makes you feel good. Having water, a little bit of lemon. I really want to try the Celtic salt, but I haven't like placed an order. I've just been doing the Himalayan salt. It's pretty good, honestly. So hot girl fall, we are going on our hot girl walks outside. Autumn, I love a walk. I always have the best ideas when I'm on a walk and I'm getting my brain going. And if you can do it with a friend, that's even better. Like you are getting your brain, you are out for a walk, and it's so fun. Like I have a blast when I'm with my friends and I'm taking a walk. It's one of my favorite things. So hot girl fall, we are going for our walks, we are drinking our water and staying hydrated. So the next one that I have on my list also has to do with the beverage. I'm a beverage girly, okay? I don't necessarily like drink that much alcohol. Every now and again, I will, drink some wine. I'll have like a little cocktail, whatever. But this has to do with my number one favorite beverage, coffee. I love coffee. I really do. If you're my sister Lily, you know that I could talk about coffee all night long because I did. And she was annoyed. She was trying to go to bed. But when you are two sisters, chatting in bed like you're in high school again, she would have been in elementary school, but it's a different vibe. So I love coffee. And you know what? Fall has the best flavors. Oh my gosh. I am all for saving money. October, I'm really working on getting like my financials in order because November comes, December comes. I have more trips that I'm going on this fall and early winter. And actually late winter too. I'm going on several trips, okay? Southwest had like a little like flight discount and I bought some flights, okay? So I need to make sure that my finances are in order. That means I can't be buying coffee all the time. Even with these amazing flavors that I love so much. Like a girl has got to have goals, but you can have goals and also beverages, okay? So commercial Fridays, this is not a new term. We do commercial Fridays. We buy our coffee on Fridays. This is perfect, okay? You get to have the fall items. You get to have the beverages that are iconic for this period in time. I personally like the shaken espresso with 3 pumps of the apple crisp syrup, okay? So good. They have like an oat milk apple crisp latte or whatever. I don't like oat milk, and like it's cheaper to do the shaken espresso with the shots of syrup, so that's what I'd be doing. It's so good, okay? But to crank it up a notch, to be even more excited for Fridays, because I've been loving Fridays. I don't know what it is, like it has just been absolutely my favorite time. Fridays have never felt like this for me. I've always thought Fridays were just like the day to a weekend, and I have just been looking at them so differently. Maybe it's because I have my routines in place, my house is not messy, like I actually enjoy my weekends now, and I don't have like the Sunday scaries and the dread for the work week. And so like I really love Fridays, but to turn it up a notch, doing a fun workout the morning before you get your coffee. Hear me out. I have been doing bar, I've been doing the yoga, I've been doing all the things. I was doing cycle bar, that was so fun. And on the days that I had a workout first thing in the morning, and then I went and got a coffee, a commercial coffee after, oh my gosh, I knew I was set up for the best Friday of my life. I was gonna be so productive, I was gonna get so much done. And then, you know what, on top of that, I was gonna have the best Friday night. I always stay in Friday night. There's something, like if you go out Friday night, your weekend is extended. If you go out Saturday night, like your weekend shortens because then you have to like recuperate on Sunday. I get that, I've heard that. But for me, staying in on a Friday night, it's so good. Like Saturdays to me, that's where you have like the outings with your friends. I like that. I'm not a heavy drinker because I like to wake up and not feel like crap. I want to be productive. I want to work on my goals. So Sunday morning, I'm not going to be hungover. Hell no. So Friday nights, they're for staying in for me. Okay, Saturdays can be like hanging out with some friends. Never make plans on a Sunday. Absolutely not, unless they're a farmer's market or something really easy and all your plans end by 2 p.m. so then you can, get your life together for the upcoming week. But if you do a commercial coffee on a Friday and you have your workout, you did the hardest thing and also the best thing. So you are feeling like a freaking warrior when you go into work. I also work from home now, so I'm not going into the office. So for me to like get up, get in my car, and then drive to get commercial coffee and come back, that's a wasted trip. Like, yeah, I went and got coffee, but like I don't live in town. Like I can't just like walk to the coffee shop. I have to drive there. I guess if we're telling ourselves with the you can't hurt me, he would have biked to the coffee shop or ran. Listen, I'm not there yet, okay, in my little journey. So I think the workout class gives you a reason to be out, and then you can get your coffee. It's like a reward, of course. So commercial coffee this fall, but we are combining it with a workout class or something, or a brisk walk. Like if you live in town and you can walk to a coffee shop, heck yeah, like walk to the coffee shop. How cool is that? I'm jealous of your life. The next thing for our hot girl fall and into the winter, honestly too, learn something. I want to say learn something every day because like teachers would preach this to you. They'd be like, learn something every day. Well, I don't think that's quite plausible. Okay. Even though we have our phones connected to us at all times of the day, learning something every day. Can you actually? I guess if you're thinking about like little quirky facts, okay, cool. Like I don't need to know that a elephant's eyeball, or I'm sorry, I totally just messed this up. A whale's heart is as big as a school bus. And I learned that from Kardashians, okay? Like, if you have those weird facts, okay, cool. But like learning a skill, that's what I'm talking about. So it could be a week, or a month, or the entire fall. I think learning something new sometimes takes longer because you can't just ace a task that quickly. You can't learn a skill like in a day. Sometimes you can, but I think the true meaningful skills take time and learning the things that nobody else is learning right now. Like I love to can, and I've been working on my own jam recipes and my own pie recipes. I made snickerdoodles the other day. I think baking in the kitchen is so fun, and I'm perfecting my recipes, okay? That's a hobby for me. That's learning something new. It's building upon a skill. If you want to do Duolingo, if you want to do any sort of new language, that's learning a skill. If you want to work on your time management, all of those little things that you think, oh, maybe I'll do that one day, or I would love to do that, or you feel jealous about someone else who continue to do their goal and work on their thing. You think, man, I wish that could be me. It literally could be you. Just pick a task and start working on it. It might not be accomplished in a day, it might not be accomplished in a week, but if you focus on it every single day, then you will learn a new task. And I think that's awesome for the fall and winter because you're preparing for the spring and summer, okay? This is when you're putting in the hard work. This is when you are making gains on your goals. The next thing, speaking of goals, the next thing on my hot girl fall is being productive in a shorter amount of time. What I mean by this is fall is the time for me to be with my family. That means I'm gonna have extended time with my family and less time to work on my goals. I love family. I want to spend time with my family. I don't ever regret the time that I spend with my family, but I still want to work on my goals. So for me, I want to, when I'm working, I'm working. I'm not getting distracted by my phone or a show or something or another. When I'm putting my nose to the grindstone, I'm getting it done. I'm focused and I'm working on it because I still want to progress in my goals. When I am with my family, I want to be with just my family. If I'm on my computer, I'm just on my computer. Whatever it is, I'm having the focus and I'm being present. That is so important to me, and it's so important to my core values. When I'm focusing on something, that's it. So I have, with Audible that I just talked about, I listened to Eat the Frog, or Eat That Frog, Eat Your Frog. Such a good book, but I'm about halfway done with it. It's talking about doing the thing that you don't want to do first thing in the morning. I highly recommend it. This is one that I purchased because it was only a 2-hour long Audible. I like to do the Audible books, purchasing the ones that are going to be a long time, 12 hours. I love a 12-hour Audible, something that's going to give me the bang for my buck, This was a 2-hour book. I bought it for $4.50 on Audible, and it's being read to me. I can put away the dishes. It gives me that spurt of energy to get stuff done. That's how I have it stacked. But Eat That Frog. It's being productive, getting the things done, taking time out of your morning to make a list, your deliverables for the day. I have a list. I do this every single day. 3 things that I want to get done. He has, and I call it a later list. He calls it a master list of all the things that you want to achieve, in your lifetime, within the month, within the year, within the day, whatever. And then he carries it over. I have a later list. This is everything that I want to be getting done. I have a daily list. It's just these 3 things I gotta get done for me to have a productive day. It is so, it gives you tools and tactics to really tackle those things on your list that you should be achieving or should be doing and aren't being able to spend as much time doing. So I've been loving it, honestly. I also I have the book, The 4-Hour Workweek, and I'm thinking about doing Audible because I read the first couple chapters and it was really hard for me to continue. And I fully believe that if something is taking you a long time, there's no reason to beat yourself up for not completing a book or a course or anything that you've purchased. Finding a way to make it work for you and to still get the knowledge is just as important. I remember in college, I read books, guys. I love books. And I remember in college not being able to get through a couple books, and I read the Spark Notes. I read a peer review. I read these summaries of the book, and I got the knowledge of it, and then I could go from there. Some people don't like that because they think that you're not putting in the work. But if I can get the main ideas, I don't want to wade through the fluff. I want to get the idea and I want to get moving. So if I can listen to Audible, and sometimes I'll increase it. I'll go 1.5 times. to get through it, because I want the knowledge, I want to learn it, I want to have it in my brain, but it doesn't have to take you that long. So I know the 4-Hour Workweek is a great book. I've read about, like I said, a third of it, but if I can maximize my time and listen to it as I drive somewhere, that's how I'm gonna have it stacked. That's what I'm gonna do. So I've been loving the productivity, because your life in the fall, like everybody thinks, oh, it's gonna slow down when summer comes. No, like it literally ramps up, and then you are at the start of the year and you're like, how can I like be productive? How can I like work on my goals when I feel like this past year I didn't even get to accomplish the things that I set out to accomplish? So I'm all about fitting in the productivity, getting the tasks done that need to be done, so then I can focus on my family and I'm not having any sort of like, I should be doing this, but I'm not. I hate that. Like when I'm focused, and I used to have a really hard time resting, like taking a nap. I love taking a nap on the weekend. I love being on the couch and sleeping on the couch. I don't know why. To me, it just feels like I am an adult, a productive adult who like is allowed to rest. And that was really, really hard for me, because I always think about like the next thing and being productive and doing this and doing that. So being able to lay on the couch and to take a nap makes me feel really, really good on the inside. What doesn't make me feel good, and I felt this in college, was knowing I needed to sleep, but because I didn't study within an allotted amount of time because I got distracted, or because I had another obligation, whatever it was, and then you can't even rest properly because you're like, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. But instead, like, I don't have the motivation, I don't have the discipline to like actually get it done. That's the worst feeling. Heck no, like I don't want to feel that way. I want to like have it completely split so I can be present. That's one of my core values. That's something that I want to do. That's my main goal. Be present. Be where my feet are. The next one is a mood board for the holidays. Okay, I don't know about where you live, but where I live, all of the holiday stuff is out. I'm talking Christmas. Halloween hasn't even been here, and we have Christmas everywhere. Last year, I wanted a pink tree. I did not have the willpower. I didn't have the organization. I didn't do it. I was too busy. Honestly, it was very stressful last year. So I did not decorate our tree very good. I did not put in the effort. I did not do the things. This year I'm doing the things, and I want a mood board for the holidays, okay? I want to like completely curate our tree. We don't have children. I don't have to put their shitty ornaments on there. I am a young adult, childless adult. We have dual income. I am making my tree beautiful, okay? We don't have any cats, we just have dogs. Yes, they're a little rambunctious. Could my tree fall over? Yes, it could. But I bought the most cutest little ornaments last year. They're kind of girly, I don't care. I got a wire tree last year, and it's like sits on your table. All of Garrett's cars are going on the wire tree this year, and they're going in the garage. Our tree is going to be completely curated. So for our hot girl fall, I know I'm talking about Christmas and this episode is about fall, but like my mood boards are not just for Christmas. Like my mood boards are also for fall. They are for the holidays, okay? And it is curation time. I want it to be cozy. I want it to be like nostalgic. I want my brain to literally feel so much dopamine when I walk in my house, because I'm like, like it's the holidays, it's so good. Like I want it, okay? So mood boards. And also I just learned this really cool thing on Pinterest. Currently I don't have Facebook on my app, I don't have Facebook on my phone. Like I don't have the app. I don't have the app for Pinterest. I don't have Snapchat, and I don't have, what were the other things? I deleted a whole bunch of like apps that I was like spending too much time on, or just enough time to like not be productive on. Lemon8, Be Real, like all of those have been deleted. And I just like focus. I have Instagram, I have TikTok, I have, what are the other, like I have a few things, okay? But I really want Pinterest again. And I am trying to like work myself up to it because I don't want to like compare, like that's not my thing, but I think that Pinterest can really be used for a creativity thing. So I'm really like, I'm on edge, but I learned this thing where you don't pin things to specific boards, because my problem is I had a million boards, okay, from like middle school. They were not cute, okay? Recipes, I was very into recipes in middle school. There's a book series that I read, and it was like the lemon cake murder or something like that. But recipes were like pretty big, and so I have like these weird recipes. I have the fashion wedding board. Oh my gosh, that is heinous. Like it's so ugly. So I've deleted and archived a bunch of these boards, and I learned something where you don't have to like pin it under hair or makeup. Like sometimes I'll have a pin where I'm like, oh, I love her style, or I love this, or I love that. And instead of just like pinning it to like separate things, because I had such anxiety, like not anxiety, okay, but it was like this, oh, where should I pin it? It was this decision, not fatigue, freeze, a decision freeze. I was like, where does this go? Where does this fit? And then I was like, my boards are messy. So doing a board for the year, or doing the board for like, okay, so it would be like fall 2023. So I'm just gonna save everything that I see aesthetically for fall. It could be sweaters, it could be the like household things, it could be a recipe, it could be whatever, but it's going under fall 2023. That is a mood board, baby, okay? And preparing things for 2024. What's my mood for 2024? I like planning things like that. I don't know about you. Cozy, okay, that's the theme for fall. Cozy couch, cozy bed, cozy book corner, okay? It's cozy vibes, and I am curating that. That kind of goes hand in hand with my mood board. And then soup, okay? Also mood board, but crock pots are like kind of slept on. Like a lot of people do the Instapot thing, but they forget about the crock pot where it can literally be cooking all day. The Instapot is nice because it's instant, but you have to like actively like put it together. I'm trying to have something where I set it out in the morning, and then by lunchtime or by supper time, like it's ready to eat. That's what I'm all about. I'm trying to make my fall the most seamless, the most effortless, the most fun possible. And I'm all about curation, baby. I want it to be the coziest, the most fall that I've ever had before. Also, the word fall, there's someone that I've followed. It's like in England, we say autumn because it comes from this Latin word. In America, we say fall because the leaves fall. And it's like this really annoying video. So I'm like, oh, fall, like fall, autumn, whatever season you want to call it. It's going to be a hot girl fall. We are going to be doing all the things. We're going to be making sure we're hydrated. We're going to be making sure we're happy. Oh my gosh, like we were working on our skincare. We were working on our goals. We were working on the things that are going to propel us into the next year. There's no need to get the winter uglies because we're going to prepare. We are going to make sure that we are setting ourselves up for success. That's what I want to do. I want to make sure that I get a jump start. People like slack off in the fall. They're like, oh, I'm not going to worry about my goals until the upcoming year. Like these might have been silly to you, or like some of them might not have been in alignment. But even if you pick one or two of these, or you have your own goals that you want to work on, your own things that are going to make you feel like it's a hot girl fall, that's going to set you up for success come wintertime. That's going to make you feel like you have it together and you're like, you know what, like I got this. I am going to have the best fall. One thing that I didn't mention is like the fall movies, but I think that goes hand in hand with like just being cozy. But being cozy and watching movies and shows in the fall and in the winter, it like you don't have to rot 24/7. You can go and do activities, okay? You can go and you can have fun, and you can have the best fall of your life. I promise you. Like, just write down the things you want to do, have a little fall bucket list, or even take a few from my list and you'd be like, you know what, this fall I'm going to focus on outdoor walks. Easy peasy. I hope this list helped. I hope that you found something that you enjoyed and that you liked. Be sure to give a like and a follow. I would really, really appreciate it. And I can't wait to see you in the next